All right, so we just got in from Mark's down in South Carolina. So my buddy Mark, his family has a fairly significant piece of property down in South. He lives down there, and they have a fairly large piece of property, and they're awesome, gracious, welcoming individuals. And they let us come down, and of course, it's Mark's property. So we go down and we have some excellent weekends, and it's super relaxing, and it's the cabin's outstanding, has every amenity possible. Didn't used to be that way. We used to sleep in a basically a 12 by 12 shack, and cook and freeze depending on the weather. But anyway, it's not like that now. It's outstanding. We can shoot out to about 1,100 or 1,200 yards. Right off of the porch, we can shoot 400, and they're just phenomenal people, and it's never a bad weekend. And that's where Liam got his deer, little 6 point when he was 10, and then Lily decided this year that she wanted to start doing it, and she's 12, and you know there's nothing wrong with that. Some people mature at different rates. Liam was like very early to the game when it came to firearms and stuff, and you could say that he was kind of born into it. He started real early, and he's a phenomenal shooter. Like he just makes it look effortless, to really reach out and shoot, long distance, or shoot fast with pistols, or shoot clays and stuff with shotguns or geese or whatever. It's just effortless for him, and it's a good thing, right? And Lily picked up pretty quick. I started her on a 223 bolt gun, and I basically got her to where she was shooting, mostly like a minute to a minute and a half at 150 yards, and um, so like at 150 be like an inch and a half to 2 inches, give or take a little bit, uh, and that's 5 rounds, and she was doing great, and so she briefly visited a 243. There's some issues. I was overloading them only by a grain, but they really didn't like it. So, said screw it, and immediately put her basically on a 260 Remington, and a 260 Remington is basically just a neck down 308, to take a 264 bullet. It's right basically in line with the 6.5 Creedmoor. Um, they're extraordinarily similar. The 260 does outrun it just a little bit, and it's on the 308 case. We have a 6.5 Creedmoor. Liam, it's basically Liam's. That's what he shot his deer with. And in my opinion, that series of cartridge is the best there is for getting a smaller statured individual, whether they're a kid or just a smaller human being, um, male or female. It really doesn't matter. Um, Lily's about 5'3", 5'4", 115, 20 pounds, and she's super solid. But she shoots a 260 no problem. She was shooting 2-inch groups at 150 yards. The gun is at Tikka CTR, so it shoots at 150. It shoots half inch. Is about this. Three quarters of a minute, half minute, give or take, is what I can squeeze out of it. And she was twice that. I've been shooting all my life, so I said, "Yep, you're good." I figured it would account for the shakes, on that first deer or the second deer, however it pans out. And it was the same. We got down to Mark's at Friday evening. Too late to go out, so we went out Saturday morning to the same stand. Liam got his deer. He got a 6-pointer, a few years ago, and he shot his about 135, 40 yards with that Creedmoor. It's an X bolt, and now there's a clear cut, like as you're facing. There's a clear cut to the left, and there was, two alleys, and sure enough, we weren't there 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and deer pops out. Look at, I can tell by the way it's moving, it's a buck. Because I really wanted her to get a buck. He got a buck. I wanted her to get a buck on their first go. It's always good. So she drew down on it, and it took her a little bit, but I kind of hovered over and pinched the rifle to this railing, and eventually she was like, I think she just kind of had a fuck it moment and was like, whatever, and she shot, drilled him, and that was 176 yards. At that 260, I mean, eventually she'll be able to shoot golf balls at that range. But for now, like shooting a deer that's moving around, and he would move over here, and then he'd move over here, and move over here, and there's a lot of does around, so they were kind of trying to figure their stuff out. But yeah, so she drilled him. He ran, 60, 80 yards. Wanted a ton of blood, and she was shooting the 120 grain Nosler E-tip, running probably right at about 2,900, and it punched him good, so super successful, and then my buddy Todd got one actually this morning, but yesterday we went ahead and cut lilies up, did all that, and then I'll take it to the taxidermist. Of course she wants it mounted too. So, but like 30, 35 pounds of meat off the deer, and then Mark does this stuff we call it karabachi. He started doing it when he after he got his caribou, and the caribou meat's just phenomenal. And so he threw a little bit. He brought up what was left of his caribou, and then we threw in some of Lily's deer, and it was great. Not as good as the caribou, but it was pretty alright. But yeah, so that's how basically the weekend went. We didn't really get crazy with it. Didn't need to, because she was successful within 10 or 15 minutes of being in the box blind. But I can tell you that she was ridiculously excited. I think she's hooked pretty good. I hope so. She's quiet in the woods, and she tries, and she pays attention. Like when we were tracking it, there was like a pretty long blood trail, and there wasn't a lot of blood at first, so it was like a really good learning experience for her. Like as soon as I find blood, I'm extraordinarily confident that I'm going to find that animal. But she was paying attention and all that kind of stuff. So like if you have kids and you hunt or you fish or you hike or whatever, and you're not getting out with them and doing this stuff when they're young, you're missing out. You're not setting yourself up for failure. Well, no, you are. You're setting yourself up for failure. I love going out with my kids. I mean, there's nothing I'd rather do, honestly. It's like with hunting and stuff. I mean, I like being with them anyway, but you stack hunting and fishing on top of that, or road tripping or whatever. My favorite things. Man, great. Can't beat it with a stick. So, anyway, so the rifles did great. Well, we only shot the one time, I suppose, but it was good. It was good. So if you get an opportunity to get out this season, I suggest you snatch that bull by the horns and get after it. and get those kids out there because they're kind of the future of this whole deal. And if we don't get them out, then we set ourselves, we set everybody up for failure. We didn't just fail ourselves, but we failed everybody. And the kids are kind of the future of this deal. And they may not show interest at first, and you might have to try a few times and whatnot. I got lucky with both of mine that I had a place like Mark's to go to. I mean, we could shoot them around here, no problem, but doesn't even feel like hunting, because it's really not. It's culling, harvesting. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that and throw it out there and maybe convince some of you to get out in the woods or get out wherever you're at and enjoy the outdoors and maybe look at a new hobby will turn into an obsession. Or I guess it goes hobby, passion, obsession. But yeah, it was good. Anyway, that's what I got for this one. Thanks.